Wow, what year are we in? 2023? What province? Gauteng. How am I feeling? Excited. We are getting to know me. We're getting to know who Naki is, because most people just know the pictures. Most people just know Naki in TikTok videos once in a while. But people don't really know my personality. They don't know who Naki is, what I love to do. They don't know what makes me laugh, my nerves, and all that. So I think it's time to know me.
You are in for a treat. Welcome to the Living in Fullness podcast, where you will get relatable, authentic, entertaining, and thought-provoking content. I am your host, Naki Muteto. Here, we believe everyone has a story and every story has a purpose. It's when you own your story, your voice, and your journey that it's able to impact those around you. Our journeys and life experiences are not a coincidence. Join us on our journey to living their purpose on purpose by staying glued to learn more from real life experiences.
Oh, where did I grow up? It's hard to pick between Zim and Zambia because I was a child in Zim. I grew up in Zambia, so I got to know what life is, what the world is in Zambia. So that was in Lusaka. So Zim, it was Harare. Zambia, it's Lusaka. And then in terms of which countries, I don't know how many countries. I've been to a number of countries. Hey, if I should start counting, do you want me to name them or count them?
It's up to you. It's up to you.
Continents, I've been to three. Okay. Countries, I've been to 8. My biggest culture shock when I came into South Africa was the fact that people actually eat snail. And my friend eats snail. She is Tonga. And she told me that, I love snail. And I looked at her like, who eats snail? Like, it looks disgusting. But yeah, that was my biggest one for me. In South Africa, my favorite music would be house. I love listening to house music, but I've got my limit. I think if I listen to more than 3 house beats, then I've exceeded my limit. That should be enough. I love Afrobeat. That's the kind of music you will hear me listening to. Nigerian music, my favorite. I love Nigeria, the country, so I love Nigerian music. I think you would find me also listening to gospel a lot in the mornings, or when I really need to tap into my spiritual being. I listen to gospel music a lot. What song gets me on the dance floor? Oh my gosh. Any Rema song would get me on the dance floor. I guess with my husband, knowing what Rema sings. But yeah, I love Rema. The activity for me that calms me down is praying. Whenever I am all over the place, when I pray, I definitely calm down. I do feel myself coming down, especially after a busy day. Listening to worship music as well helps me to calm down. I think that's an activity that calms me down. I've started listening to podcasts, but I think I do love short podcasts. If it's too long, I get bored. I'm quite busy, so I don't have time to listen to all of it. Music, so I think I love music more than I love podcasts. I love winter. I feel I get to dress up. If I'm looking at my favorite season of the year, it's winter. It has to be winter because I love to dress up. I think with winter, you're able to express yourself. You're able to express your sense of dressing. So I love winter. Netflix and chill person, anytime, any day. I'm more of a Netflix and chill person. I am married to Mr. Muteto, my husband, the love of my life. We've been married for 3 years. We dated for 7 years before we got married. We were in a long distance for most of it. So getting straight into the marriage, into COVID, we had a lot of learning to do. So that's a story for another day. The favorite part of my marriage so far is the fact that I can be myself without being judged. I can say anything without being judged. So I think for me, just being myself around my husband is my favorite part of my marriage. The best traveling experience with my husband was when we went to Zanzibar. That was amazing. It was our honeymoon. It was actually it wasn't our first trip together, but it was our first trip where my parents knew I'm going somewhere together. So that was amazing. I think it was just the experience, the culture, just being the two of us in a country we know no one. I enjoyed that. So that was my favorite. How did I introduce my husband to my parents? It had to be in bits and pieces. Hey, my dad had to be the last one. My dad knew my husband when he was serious, okay? My mom knew my husband. So I introduced my mom to my husband. Okay, I started with my sisters, okay? So my sisters knew him. I was in school. I was at Wits at that time. So my sisters, I just told them, oh, there's this guy that I met. He's the president of the Zambian Society because he's from Zambia. And we're staying in Zambia. So everyone was like, oh, we need to meet him. I think they added him. They started stalking him already. They added him on Facebook. And that's how I introduced them to him. My mom, I think I just told her that I'm dating someone now, and obviously she asked a lot of questions to get to know who he is. Is he Christian? Does he love you? What kind of person is he? Then my dad, when he wanted to get married, that's when my dad knew him. Oh my God, what do I love about my husband more sexually? Before I even get to the physical bit. But I guess for me to love him sexually, I love him physically, right? So both. We were for marriage. Well, sex after marriage, that's what we decided. Very complicated story. Sex after marriage, that's what we decided. I think it was mainly because of our Christian background, because we're both Christian, we both believe in God. And it was also because of my ego, to be honest. I just felt like I needed to know he's serious, you know? I needed to feel he's serious before I can engage into anything with him. And he was actually my first as well. We managed to keep it all the way. It was tough, it was difficult. I mean, you need to look at my husband, look at me. No, it was difficult, to be honest. We won't lie. I mean, we obviously did a few things. Sorry, mom, sorry, dad. We did a few things here and there. So again, you know, it's a very different story for another day. So I can't say we really kept it just because there wasn't the actual act. But yeah, now that we're married, I always suggest dates. Anywhere where there's good food and good music. Our favorite spot for my husband to eat would be anywhere where there's good food and good music. We do have friends. My husband has more friends than I have. We also have couple friends as well. And I think for me, it's been because of a lot of change. I've been up and down Africa. So I make friends, I leave, and then I have to make new friends, but we do have friends. If I were to pick a friend that my husband and I would have to travel with, I'm going to pick Tumboni and Matebe. I feel they're adventurous. I think they're fun. We haven't spent much time with them, but I think they are fun and adventurous. Wow, what do I look for in a friendship? I look for loyalty, honesty, transparency, and vulnerability. Do I believe the time I enjoy wasting is no time wasted? That's true, I do believe that. Because for the fact that I've enjoyed wasting it, it means I needed that rest and probably called it wasting because I didn't realize I needed to rest. How do I enjoy spending my time alone? I enjoy tapping into my creative self because I'm quite creative. I've got a lot of ideas in my head. So just processing those ideas, thinking of how I want to go about it, meditating, listening to music, dancing. I also love dancing, and cooking. What is my favorite meal to cook? I love to cook in general, so picking one is difficult. I'm so creative with cooking, but if I'm going to pick off the top of my head, I'll say chicken biryani. How can someone earn my trust? They really have to be loyal. They have to not gossip about other people around me, because if you can gossip about somebody around me, then you can gossip about me to somebody. So would I rather have someone honest and hurt my feelings or lie to protect them? I would rather have someone honest and hurt my feelings, because I think for me, I know where that person is with me, rather than lying and talk behind my back. If I could snap my finger and make the world a better place, I would make the world pause so that I can go into all the fashion stores and get clothes. I've thought about this one all the time. Do I believe in astrology? I do not believe in astrology simply because I'm a Christian, so it goes against my Christian values. I do know my star sign. To be honest, growing up, I used to follow it a lot with my siblings. We used to do this a lot. It's Capricorn. That's my star sign. So we were actually having this conversation with my husband the other day, because I was saying, you know, what if I just start reading my star signs and know what it's saying about my future? Because I'm at that point where I'm getting nervous about life. But yeah, no, I don't. Have I ever lost a friend? Yes, I have lost a friend. And I think for me, it was about The fact that they were just not honest and trustworthy. I don't like people that disrespect other people. And so for me, if people disrespect other people or talk about them behind their back, then I definitely cannot be around them. Do we have any kids right now? Not yet. We're quite busy at the moment. Where will they come from? If I could teach one thing to my future child, I would tell them that, baby, take it easy. Life is not a competition. You're in your own lane and you've got your own purpose. Don't look at what others are doing. Look at where God has placed you and be present in every season. What is the scariest thing I've ever done? And why did I do it? Okay, it's not scary to a lot of people, okay? But I don't like water, like as in sea. Okay, so going for a boat cruise for me was scary, especially at the sight of the rains coming and thunderstorms coming in Cape Town. That was the scariest thing ever. And we went on it, and the journey itself wasn't worth it. I cried for most of it. So I think that's the scariest thing. I did it because my husband wanted to do it. Things we do for love. Do I believe in second chances? Yes, I do. Because I believe in second chances because I'm a Christian, right? So I believe people do have to be given another chance to make things right. Because we're people, we all need grace and we all mess up. So every time someone does something, I always ask myself, if I was them, what would I need right now? And in most times you need to be forgiven, especially if you are sorry. So second chances, if they are worth it. What is my motto for life? To be present in every season, because there's always something to learn. And my plans for the rest of the year, I've got a lot of plans for this year, but the one I need to mention is I'm starting my podcast. I'm excited about that. And I'm also hoping to travel quite a lot this year with my husband, of course. And I think I just want to tap into the other ideas that I've had and just really execute them rather than just put them under the carpet as ideas.